Most women recognize that menopause changes pretty much everything: your hormones, your metabolism, your weight. But what many women don't realize is just how much menopause affects your blood sugar. Hemoglobin A1C is one of the most important lab tests that you can track after menopause. It gives you a pretty clear picture of your average blood glucose over the past 2 or 3 months, and that has pretty huge implications for your heart, your brain, your metabolism, and your long-term health. This video is the first in a 5-part series where I'm going to walk you through the most important blood tests that every postmenopausal woman should be paying attention to beyond just your hormones, starting with hemoglobin A1C. So let's talk about what this test really tells you and why it matters so much. Hemoglobin A1C, or just A1C for short, reflects how much glucose has been circulating in your blood and sticking to your red blood cells over time. Think of it like a 90-day report card for your blood sugar. Your red blood cells live for about 3 months. That's the time it takes to totally recycle them. During that time, glucose molecules bind to those red blood cells, and the more sugar in your bloodstream, the higher your A1C percentage is. That percentage gives your doctor some insight into your overall glucose control. Not at just a single point in time, but over several weeks. The American Diabetes Association uses 3 categories to diagnose A1C levels. They say below 5.7% is considered normal. From 5.7 to 6.4%, that's prediabetes, which is also known as insulin resistance. And then 6.5% or higher is the threshold for type 2 diabetes. Unfortunately, hemoglobin A1C increases naturally with age, even if you haven't changed your diet or your lifestyle or anything else. And after menopause, things tend to get worse. Women over 50 typically see an average increase of about 1.1% in their A1C compared to their premenopausal years. And that means you could actually shift from a healthy blood sugar into insulin resistance range, or even full-blown type 2 diabetes range, without making any changes to your eating or your exercise habits, just with that 1.1% increase. Well, that higher A1C doesn't just show up on your lab work, it starts showing up in your body. You might notice some weight gain, especially around your midsection after menopause. That's usually due to visceral fat. It's the most dangerous fat that's inside around your organs. That kind of fat is closely tied to menopause insulin resistance, and it's one of the most dangerous contributors to heart disease. Speaking of which, high A1C is directly linked to cardiovascular disease, especially in postmenopausal women. It's also associated with cognitive decline and Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is sometimes referred to as type 3 diabetes because of its close relationship with blood glucose problems. Vision problems, kidney damage, nerve damage, those can also be risks that go up as hemoglobin A1C climbs. The worst part, though, is that you don't even feel it happening. Even small changes in your A1C can silently drive disease for many years. One reason I focus so much on hormone optimization is because hormones, especially estradiol, directly impact how your body handles glucose. Higher estradiol levels are associated with lower fasting blood glucose and, in turn, lower hemoglobin A1C. In fact, research shows that oral estradiol therapy can reduce hemoglobin A1C by around 0.56% in women with type 2 diabetes, without even factoring in your lifestyle changes. Estradiol also helps improve your insulin sensitivity, which is a key in reversing insulin resistance. And this is why menopause and metabolism are so closely tied together. If you're struggling with high A1C after menopause, hormone optimization could be the missing piece that really makes a difference. Timing does matter. The earlier you start estradiol after menopause, the greater its impact. If you want to dive deeper into how hormone optimization supports your metabolism and your blood sugar, you can find everything I cover in my masterclass, The Menopause Solution. You can check that out at simplehormones.com/optimal. Will your doctor actually order a hemoglobin A1C? Well, the short answer is probably yeah. This test is very widely used in primary care. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say it's about a 9 in terms of the likelihood that your primary care provider will actually order it, especially if you ask them if they haven't ordered it already. Many primary care providers already include it as part of their routine annual labs. Chances are you may have already had it tested. What does it cost to get your hemoglobin A1C tested? Well, even if you pay out of pocket, A1C is one of the least expensive labs available. I checked on LabCorp where I get my labs done. It's about $39 cash price. It's also covered by almost all insurance plans. Right now, you can even get an A1C test for free if you donate blood through the American Red Cross. I don't know how long that's going to last, but they're doing it temporarily. No fasting is required. It's a quick, powerful test and one of the most important things you can do to take control of your long-term health. Well, what should you do next? Here are the steps that I recommend. Number 1, ask your provider to either check your hemoglobin A1C at least once a year or find out if they've already tested it. Second, look at the result yourself. Don't settle for, well, your labs look fine. And then third, act on that number if it's climbing, because A1C can go down just as easily as it goes up. There are simple, proven ways to reduce your A1C even without any medications. One is taking a walk for 30 minutes after your largest meal. Let's say dinner, as soon as you can before you do the dishes. Cut back on sugar and refined carbohydrates. Maybe eat those carbohydrates last after you eat proteins and fat. Add resistance training or high-intensity exercise. Maybe consider berberine supplements. They're shown to lower your A1C, especially in women. Optimize your hormones, especially estradiol, and especially early in menopause if you can. This isn't just about diet, and it's not just about hormones. It's both. When you combine the two, you can dramatically lower A1C, you can burn off that visceral fat inside your abdomen, and transform your metabolism and the way your body deals with glucose. In my next video, we're going to take a look at apolipoprotein B. That's a cholesterol particle that's even more important than LDL cholesterol when it comes to heart disease risk. If you care about your heart, your brain, and your future, you won't want to miss that one. Click here to watch that next video in this 5-part series on blood tests beyond hormones.